Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 105 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about borrowing money from your friends or your family when you guys are thinking about paying off debt. So, I have a few notes here on different things that you guys should look into and consider too. Some people just like, I don't care about none of that. I'm just going to ask for it. I'm going to get it. I want you guys to consider these different things and also think about structuring, borrowing money a certain way when it's come down to like your parents or something like that. So, that's what this episode is going to be about. And we're not just talking about can I borrow $20 into next week. We're talking about money that you're going to ask for so you can pay off debt. So the first thing I want you guys to think about is understand that this is going to be your lender. Like whoever your friend family is, whoever your friend is, this is your lender, and you need to look at them as such. When you guys are borrowing money, this is going to be some type of business deal. So you want to figure out, can they actually afford to borrow you the money? Are they on some type of fixed income? Try not to borrow money from people that you know are honestly struggling. Some people don't care, but I have a heart. I want people to think about that. If they're already struggling, don't try to borrow money for them, okay? That is something very, very necessary. And then understand too, do you want to actually owe this person money? You have to consider that. Depending on who it is, do you want to actually owe them money? Like, do not mess up certain relationships that you have just because you want to borrow money from these people, okay? That's very, very important. And would this actually help, taking this money too, would this actually help you out, or is it just delaying what's going to happen anyway? Like, are you eventually going to file bankruptcy? Because some people still borrow money and not understand that you're going to have to file bankruptcy anyway. This is a very serious situation. Or sometimes it's not going to help you at all anyway because of your situation. If you know you need $30,000 and you're only going to borrow you $5,000, and you know it's a big thing, you need the full 30, then please keep that in mind before borrowing that money. And you want to know what the repayment will look like with this family member or this friend too. So be upfront with them and talk to them about it. Like, okay, when you need this money back, are you going to charge me any interest on it? How much I need to pay back? When? If I'm making payments, how often am I going to be making payments? So this is something that you really, really need to understand. Understand that you are borrowing money from somebody that's not just your family or friend now. They're your lender. Okay, they're your lender. You have to keep that in mind. Now, when you guys are borrowing money from your parents, sometimes your siblings may not like it. And if your siblings does not like that you're actually borrowing money from your parents, then you have to get some type of understanding with your parents, basically, especially if it's a lot of money. If you guys know you guys are going to get an inheritance from them, then maybe you want to think about structuring it where you don't necessarily have to pay back whatever money that they're giving to you. You can take this out of your inheritance that you're going to get anyway, right? So keep that in mind if you guys are borrowing money from your family or especially your parents. And also, if you can help it, just try to stay away from this, because if you don't pay them back, something happens. You just messing up relationships. Money is something that you just don't want to play around with. So I kind of want to go over these different things when it comes down to borrowing money from your family and friends. It's really gonna come down to just asking them. It's gonna be a yes or no, and it's like, okay, well, what are we gonna do about it? If you say yes, how are we gonna structure it? Okay. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hey, welcome to episode 106 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about borrowing money against your life insurance policy. So if you guys are trying to pay off debt, then this may be an option for you. You guys definitely want to call your life insurance policy. And this is if you guys have whole life insurance or universal life, then you guys can possibly have a cash value. And with that cash value, you can borrow that, and then you guys will have to just figure out, what's the limits on how much you can borrow, what's the terms of it, but you can actually borrow this money. Okay, so look into it. You definitely want to call your insurance company with more information. This is an option I want to let you guys know about, because this may be a great option for you, because the rates may be way better than if you guys were to go and get a loan. Now, this is the thing, and I want you guys to keep this in mind. If you guys were to borrow, say if you borrow $10,000, $20,000, right? If you borrowed this money and this is your cash value, if you borrowed this money, if you don't pay it back, then that money is just going to get taken out of how much your beneficiary is going to get after you pass away. Okay, so keep that in mind. But this is definitely an option. Definitely call your insurance company and figure out, what's the good things about it, what's the bad things about it, whether you should do it or not. But I always tell people, if you can help it, try not to borrow at all. If you can help it, try to figure out your situation by just making more money and just paying off whatever you have to pay off. Okay, especially before you get into something that's supposed to be helping your family after you pass away. So definitely look into this. Some people use this as a play, though. They definitely want to borrow against it. This is what they wanted. They wanted to be able to borrow against it for different purposes. So definitely, this can be a great play for you too. Look into that part of it too. Like people that actually do this on purpose, they pay into a certain amount so that they could borrow against it and all these different things. You can definitely look into it. So definitely a good life insurance play. But I'm talking about the people that don't have a play. You got debts, okay? You got debt and you need to pay it off. It's a different type of thing. So definitely look into it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're going to talk about things to avoid, what not to do when you're trying to borrow money, who you not should listen to, or what you should not do. I'll see you guys in that episode. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to episode 107 of Credit 101. In the next few episodes, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things to avoid. Okay, it's a lot of them, and I just wanted to make sure I list them all out and talk about it even more. And in these next episodes, you guys, please do not be desperate. Okay, like, oh, this is a good idea. Maybe I should go towards that. This is only 5 of them that I want to really tell you guys about now. I'm going to go into greater details in the next episodes. So the first thing is certain consolidation loans. Please avoid these certain personal loans. Pawn shops, if you can really help it, please avoid pawn shops. If you guys are thinking about doing a title loan, I've done it before. I'm going to talk about it in the episode. Please avoid that. I was very young doing that. I think I was probably like 18 doing that. Avoid that. Okay, avoid it. And also, maybe you guys were to do some type of debt relief service. It's a lot of them out there. Please avoid those different things. Peer-to-peer loans, that's something else. So definitely we're going to go over this in the next episodes. And if you guys have any questions, always feel free to call or text me or go to my website, Rickita.com. Go down a little bit and schedule a call. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys have. I'll see you guys in the next episodes. Please move cautiously. It's so much stuff that's just showing up. Please just really research whatever you do in terms of taking out loans to pay off these different debts that you guys have. I'll see you guys in next episodes. Hey, welcome to episode 108 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about avoiding consolidation loans when you guys are trying to pay off debt. So sometimes people think, let me just go ahead and do a consolidation loan to pay off my debt. And I honestly, when it comes down to consolidation loans, I want you guys to be wary of it, okay? Because they can charge you anywhere between 7% over, 36%, depending on what kind of security you use. And also, the real security is collateral, kind of collateral that you're using and what your credit score is looking like. And usually, if you need to borrow money, sometimes you have a very low credit score to start with. And I just want you guys to avoid this all the way, especially if you guys are giving up some type of collateral, like maybe you put your car up, maybe you put your house up. If you have these different things tied to these consolidated loans, then if you don't pay them back, they can go ahead and take those different things or they can sue you, okay? So I definitely want you guys to keep that in mind. And then sometimes I don't like the consolidated loans. I don't like the interest rate. That's just number one. Another thing I don't like is I don't like when they bulk certain loans like together. Like maybe you'll have, like, say we talk about, what if they give you a 30%, 36% interest rate and your credit cards are already 30%? Like, what's the point? Like, interest rates are technically lowering your credit cards. It's better ways of paying off those debts than to go into a 36% interest rate. And then maybe you may find out, hey, my car loan's only 11%, but you're going to put me at a 36%, and I'll just be happy that I got this one loan. Sometimes it's just not the best for everyone. So please look into this. If you guys are going to get some type of loan, please go to a bank or a credit union, and also try to get the lowest interest rate possible. If you could clean up anything in your credit, try to clean it up first so your credit score can be as high as it can be before you actually try to get that loan. But please try to avoid these consolidated loans because sometimes they have like a lot of other companies that you think are not having this debt and they're actually having the debt for you. They're holding the debt for you. So please keep that in mind. I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're going to talk about some more things that you guys need to avoid.